All right, guys. Welcome back to my channel. I am Nettie Rock for my replay crew. Welcome for joining me again today. We are going to be talking about, sorry, I'm trying to make sure that you guys can see me and I'm in frame okay. Um Please ignore the different background than usual. I am tired today, so we're gonna just make it work in this different area. What was I gonna say? So today we are going to talk about Gabby Petito's case slash Brian Laundrie, his whole deal. Give me 1 second. Let me just make sure that we are in fact live because that has been an issue in the past. I haven't had that issue with StreamYard before, but you never know. I don't want to have another day where I end up thinking that I'm streaming for like an hour and I'm not streaming. Okay. Saying that I'm live. Let's just click on it really quick and make sure. All right, looks like I'm live. I got okay. No. Stop it. All right, we're streaming. Why are my AirPods for some reason out of nowhere did not were paired and they're not paired anymore. So we're gonna, in the meantime, we're gonna let them charge for a little bit. I got some of my regular peeps in the stream. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I have my Mickey sister Crystal here. I got Dragon Man, I got Danette, and I got Project Achieva. You four have been here so many videos. Thank you guys again for showing up. It is so crazy to have you guys all here again and again. I love that and I appreciate you guys. So Crystal said hello everyone. Actually, I should be sharing it. I need to get used to the format. I also need to hate the background right now. Okay. We love getting random foot cramps. Sorry about that. Okay, anyways. Okay. Weird times. So yeah, Crystal said hello everyone. Dragon Man said happy Tuesday. Danette is back. Welcome back and said hey there. Project Chiva notification squad. Love that. I love that. Love that. And Crystal said smash those likes. I double dog dare you. I love that that's Crystal's little thing. Like that's so cute. I love that. Thank you. I need to come in and do a Mia Mercano day and give her full recognition, full spotlight. I wanted to take today and do like a mini update with you guys on Gabby Petito slash Brian Laundrie, just because I don't think I would have enough time to really do the case justice with Mia. And since we've been, we have all been on Gabby's case so much lately, and we all kind of keep each other up to date all the time. It's a little bit less that I need to do to like recatch up since the last stream. And I want Mia's to have a dedicated stream, start to finish, of what's been going on. And I want to have the time to dedicate to actually research and make sure that I'm up to date and do the justice for her case. Also, I want to start doing some more. Crystal told me about Summer Wells, so we're gonna probably touch on that one really soon. So we'll see. Maybe hopefully by the end of the week we can do that one. But I'll keep you guys posted. We have a newcomer on the stream, welcome Frank, and said, random foot cramps are terrible. Yes, they are, Frank. Yes, they are. Ah, it's really fun when you're like midstream and then you're like about to like jump out of your seat. I probably looked really, just really crazy in that moment. But let me know what you guys have been seeing. The big news that I saw out of Gabby's case, um, is the Brian Laundrie lookalike in the Appalachian Trail. Oh, poor guy. I feel so bad for this person. I haven't been able to watch this clips. Why is this on I pulled up like the first clip that came up from a news station about, this guy being ambushed by the police. Um and they have like Bill Gates and like his whole controversy about what he was doing. Talking about that and I'm like, why is that there? Danette says not a really a whole lot going there with Brian. Only he's look-alike getting ambushed. Yeah, oh my god. Oh yeah, I need to get better about that. I'm so used to like back in the day Twitch streaming where like I just had to read everybody's comments out. And so I have to get used to that. I'm also gonna so today I'm not only gonna do like a mini recap of what's been going on, which as Danette's saying is not terribly a lot in the case. I also wanted to get your guys' input and feedback on the streams, what times that you guys are available. I've been trying to keep with my 7:30 scheduling, but now it's like kind of evolving. So I wanted to see, is 7:30 still a good time for you guys? Can 7:30 like EST, um is that still a good time for everybody? Can you guys do earlier? Is that just like a no-go? Let me know. Um but I'll get into the clip in a second. Um, Also, if anybody has any information on the Mia Marcano case, let me know in the comments below. I would love for people to give me their feedback. And Crystal, me and you gotta hook up on the Summer Wells case. I told Crystal that in an upcoming video when I do the Summer Wells case that wanted to her to call in. So if you're still down for that, I would love for that to happen. Collins will be coming back eventually. I'm in the middle of trying to get a schedule with you guys, and this is why I'm also trying to bounce ideas with you guys about, what's a good time to come on and stuff like that. Crystal said, poor guy, I guess he was pulled out of the hotel. Didn't look much like Brian, in my opinion. Yep. Let's watch that video really quick. Let's see here. So here we go. I just pulled up some of the most recent stuff that's been going on. Get this on full screen.
An upstate New York man who looks like Brian Laundrie was woken up by the U.S. Marshals with guns.
You know what would be great if I had my earbuds. Sorry guys, hold on. I'm gonna blast you guys with go on. Okay.
While he was taking a nap on the Appalachian Trail. Severin Beckwith was staying at a resort with his girlfriend when they heard a knock on the door and it flew open. He was handcuffed and then later cleared because he didn't have Laundrie's tattoos and he showed his ID. All right,
oh my god. I thought it was going to be a lot longer clip, but I guess not.
People with ADHD save 10 hours studying.
Nobody asked you for this. Thank you very much. All right, we're going to go back to me. Dragon Man says there are millions of young guys with beards and bald heads. Yeah, this is such an issue, and like I think what people aren't considering at this point is like if Ryan's out there in a position where he could get caught like this man was, where he was in the Appalachian Trail and he was caught like in a hotel room, like it's hard because it's like I don't want to put stuff out there, but it's not stuff that nobody said. Like I know the news people have said stuff like this before, so I'm gonna go off the fact that news have like put this out there like in bold. Like what is to say that Brian is still bald-headed and has a beard? Like what is to say that he didn't shave his beard, put a wig on, get a you could get a fake a fake beard, like a huge beard. Like too. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but it's like they make them just like they make lace front ring wigs that look incredibly realistic. Like you would never tell that was that person, like it wasn't that person's hair. They make beards like that too. Like, the man could have done like, the man could be sporting bleach blonde hair, purple fucking hair for all we know. Like, he could have gained weight, he could have lost weight. Like, oh, who is to say he looks remotely like what the last pictures that we saw of him? Uh, it's just baffling to me that, like, this guy looked like Brian, so they, like, went after him, and, like, that's traumatizing as fuck. Like, could you imagine just having, like, a getaway weekend with your significant other and being in the hotel room and somebody just bangs on the door and it bursts open and it's the police swarming the hotel room and taking you the fuck away? Like, that is so traumatizing. Like, I feel very, very bad for that person because you could easily get PTSD from that shit when you didn't do anything. Like, this man did zero things to warrant that, other than looking like this man who so many people are after. And my heart goes out to that man. I hope that he gets some, like, therapy after that, because I'm sorry. I can't imagine many people coming out of that um and not having, like, like, that not being traumatizing or having at least a little bit of PTSD from that. I don't know, that's a lot. That is a lot to process. Ugh. I Project Achieva said this earlier, that somebody is planning on going to Laundrie's house to release butterflies. I mean, I could see why people would think that was sweet. It's definitely, like, a, a peaceful protest, so I do appreciate that. It's just a little weird to me that people are normalizing going to other people's house that they don't know. Um, like, I wouldn't want a million people outside of my house because all of a sudden, like, I exploded. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just weird to me that, like, maybe do it, like, in the park where, like, I know there's, like, a specific tribute that the city has set up and is maintaining at the park for Gabby, and they're saying, like, the people who were doing the protests and, like, sending flowers and stuff as, like, a gag and, like, to, like, fuck with the laundries, they were said, like, send the flowers to the specific part of the park, um send it to this park. We're gonna put a memorial for her there. If you send it anywhere else, it's gonna get trashed. Like, I would appreciate that more if they were going to that park to do that, or if they did it somewhere where they live and at a park in memorial for Gabby. um it's just so strange to me to, like, go to somebody's house, and I also don't know where that person live. So, like, I think, like, if they're outside of Florida or outside of, like, a 45-minute radius, maybe, like, a couple hours, like, that is really strange to me that there's, like, this big push online of people, like, specifically visiting Florida or making it, like, a itinerary point or whatever to go to these people's house. Like, that is weird. That is so strange to me. And I don't know where people, I think it's somewhere between, like, celebrity status and, like, how involved people are in true crime nowadays, that it's like people don't cognitively understand or care, maybe, that, like, this is somebody's house where they're living at. And also, there's a whole neighborhood of people that you're invading their privacy too by making this big spectacle. Like, people are specifically going out of their way and traveling to Florida to take a picture outside of the laundry's house. Like, I don't understand why people think that's, like, cool or interesting or fun, or I don't know. Like, I'm not judging people or saying that they're bad people for wanting to do that. I'm just questioning, like, where people feel like that's appropriate. Like, where is this, like, slew of people coming from, and, like, what what made people feel like that was appropriate? Like, was there a moment, a crux in time, something that they saw online, what people were saying, what people were doing, that they just feel like they're entitled to do that, or they feel like it's a fun game? Like, I think it's even weirder when it's like, oh, hi, hee hee haha, like, we're gonna go to the laundry's house and take a picture, ha, we're so crazy and cool. Like, is it just me, or is that like really strange? I don't know, like I'm the kind of person personally who like I love traveling and I love seeing places from like TV and movies. Like when I went on my road trip for my birthday, like we stopped at the place where they filmed Hello Dolly, but it was a public train station, like public areas, not in like a neighborhood. Like it was public areas, and it was from a famous movie that people frequent. And there's even a restaurant right next to the train station where they named it Dolly's after the movie. So that makes sense to me. Like I could see why people see things in TVs and movies that they want to see. Um but when it's like real people's lives and houses, it's so strange to me. Um Going back to what I was talking about, Crystal was saying about my analytics. It's I feel like the analytics aren't as good as you think they are. At least not my analytics. Maybe it's because such a small creator that I probably don't get the full scope of what I should be getting. Like a lot of times my analytics won't even tell me what like how many of like there's like a section that's supposed to be like not trying to like get into like the whole gender debate, but there's a section that says like how many people who identify as female versus how many people who identify as male are watching your videos, and it consistently won't tell me. It used to tell me where people's countries were, and now it doesn't do that for the most part. A lot of like the things that are like right up front don't say anything for me. Um, and I've never seen anything that says like most trafficked at a certain time. Like I've only seen that on like Instagram and TikTok, not on YouTube. Maybe I'm missing something like really deep hidden in the back end, but like I haven't seen that. Um, Plus I like to check what people say because sometimes when they're on YouTube isn't necessarily where they would want to come on to see me or to be on the stream or whatnot. So I think it just depends on the people. Danette says there's so many Brian lookalikes, 100%. Crystal said a YouTuber made a video last week at the reserve in Florida, showed body heat of someone out in a shack. FBI found another wanted fugitive, not Brian. Makes you lose confidence in the FBI finding Brian. That's crazy. I haven't heard about that. If you can send me the link for that or tell me if there's like a video or something, I would definitely play that. Um yeah, that's crazy. I will say though, like that people doing that, like who are going to the reserve, who want to like go and visit the reserve, I feel like that's good for you. Like I don't judge that person at all. I don't think that's weird. If you want to go out of your way and drive from BFE or fly in from BFE and like go to the reserve, like cool. Cool beans, like do what you want. Like I think that not weird to me. Like public open space, you know? Um but like and I think it's worse too. Like I've seen people who like if anybody watches like Adam the Woo, I know he used to do a lot of like like movie locations, filming locations and stuff like that. Um and sometimes it would be like in private neighborhoods where he would, you know, take like a quick video clip or whatever, but like this is like in the like I could understand that, you know, he was from what I had seen, he's always tried to be very respectful about it. If somebody didn't want him to do it, he wouldn't do it. You know, he would take his photo, he'd take his little video, keep on going. For the most part, people knew that those areas were from filming something or other, you know. um but like that to me is very different than like an active investigation where these people are being harassed every single day. um so like to me it's like the active investigation thing, it's just like another layer, and it's like all these people are already harassing this family on and offline, and it's like but like to add on top of that this like weird tourism thing is like so strange to me. Crystal said I think people have anger against the Laundries. No one can imagine not saying anything, not pleading with Brian to turn himself in. um I I have feelings about the Laundries, and I have feelings about people's feelings and anger against them, saying that like assuming that they know things or that they know where Brian is and stuff like that, and like how could you not turn him in and that whole thing. Like I have very strong feelings about that. Um about people's reactions online. And it's one of those things that I think would just be like not great for me to talk about just because I think people would like take it the absolute wrong way. Um but I'm going to leave it there. Project Achieva is talking about Popcorn Planet. Andy, I guess, is the person's name, and says that they're from Tampa. I guess that's like a lot less weird. Because they're from basically the same area. Frank chimed in and said there was a fugitive in a cabin, but it wasn't Brian. That guy was arrested. And he said the fugitive hiding in the reserve was Ethan Waters. That's wild to me. Like, did he have any like? That's really wild to me that like this other fugitive was like hiding in the reserve. Like, I wonder if he's just been hiding there for like a really long time and had no idea that this was happening, or like kind of knew and like just how did he? That's a hot mess. That is a hot mess express. I can't believe that somebody was just an absolutely other fugitive was hiding in the reserve. That's really wild. That's really, really wild. I have no words for that. Like there's just so much to unpack with that person, the a completely other random person who was a fugitive hiding in the reserve. Just absolutely wild. Yeah, I don't understand. I don't understand the yeah, like you'd hear the helicopters. I mean, there was helicopters, there was cops, there was dogs. W- Like I wonder if he had any access to anything, like if he had any access to like the outside world at all. Like did he have access to, the internet or like a TV somehow to like see the news? Cuz could you imagine like you're just a fugitive and you're like that's just wild to me. Like what a weird ass coincidence. Project Achieva, this is something I would love to do actually one day. Um, said when I went to LA, I went to the Puente Hills Mall, the mall from Back to the Future. It was incredible for me as a lifelong fan. I would love to do like a Back to the Future tour. Like that would be so dope. I eventually this year I'm hoping very very soon right now since it's fall to go do a Gilmore Girls tour of Connecticut. Very like side rant. um but I fingers crossed that I will be doing that really soon. But I love all that sort of stuff. Like I said, I did the Hello Dolly one. I I'm trying to think if I've done any other ones from like movies or TV, but I've been dying to do that. I also really want to do the Vampire Diaries tour that they have in Georgia, of their like filming locations and stuff. But you can't even film on the tour, which is so stupid to me. But I guess it is what it is. And I did Hamilton touring on this trip too, so but it wasn't like of stuff obviously like, the musical happened in a theater. But like it was about his life and stuff like that. Um Frank said there's so many coincidences though, like that other couple murdered in Moab. They say there's no coincident connection, but it's weird to me that one girl was working at Moonflower while they were there and then was murdered the following day. Wait, are you talking about the, like, lesbian couple that had just been married that was murdered? One of them was working at Moonflower? I haven't heard that before. Hold on. Googling it. Yeah, they were from Moab. Let me see. They were so cute together. It's so sad. Ugh, that's so fucked up. I'm on oh, sorry, I should actually pull this up so you guys can see it too while I look at it. But I just pulled up this is them, this was them, which is horrible. But it did say something like in the Google clipping, like about where they worked. That's a hilarious name. I love it. Welcome, Judgmental. Great name. Um, I love the play on words. It said Kyle and Crystal. I just found it, so thank you. Um, Frank said Kylan worked at Moonflower. Yeah, Kylan. I don't know if it's Schulter Schulte and Crystal Turner. Um, yeah, and Kylan didn't show up for her shift at Moonflower, and Beck haven't showed up for her shift at McDonald's. Friends created a Facebook page asking people in the area to help find the couple. Her father, who lives in Montana, began calling people in Moab who knew the couple, begging for them to search for them. Police had researched popular campgrounds in the area, but nothing had turned up. All right, we'll see you really soon, Crystal. Yeah, that is wild. But like, I guess my rebuttal to that, not saying that it wasn't him. Like anything is possible. I've always said that. Also, I like Frank's new, so like I'm gonna and for anybody else who's new watching, um, I very much try to stay neutral on my position for a lot of things as much as I can. I don't ever like to assume anybody's guilt. I've always said that it is, justice needs to prevail. The justice system needs to prevail and do its job, and come to a conclusion. I'm not judge, jury, or executioner. So I also tend to be somebody who, if somebody wants to say something in particular about something that they think might have happened, um, I kind of play, I guess, like devil's advocate and go ahead and kind of give a rebuttal of what else could have happened, because I like everything to be fair and balanced and have, a little bit of everything. Um, so to me, it's, anything, like I said, anything is possible at the end of the day. Maybe Brian did kill this couple. But like logically speaking, as with like the entire incident, if we are to take the incident that happened with the police and what they were saying in that interaction, um, they've been stuck in this van this whole time. They're having these issues against each other. They end up having the issue at that restaurant afterwards where, Brian is making a huge scene and screaming and everything. It would be a little difficult when you're compressed in that environment to go through all of this without anybody else seeing, to go from you're here butting heads with your significant other, and it seemed like they were very focused on that fight from the videos and stuff like that. Um, to be doing that and then to jump to a completely different campsite, like there's nothing to indicate that he was at that campsite or that they had camped at the same campsites or anything like that. So to go from wherever they might have been to that campsite, nobody having noticed anything, nobody having any footage, especially with all of the footage that's come out of other people being around, and all those campsites are very popular. I personally have been to actually the LaSalle Mountain Loop Road. I've been out there before. It's very popular. Um, it's to me, it would be difficult for them to do that, and with all the other footage that's come out and everybody else has come out, for him to have gotten off to the side, taken his attention away from Gabby in that situation to go kill these random couple, it to me doesn't necessarily add up because it wasn't just a one time they out of the blue were killed. They before that had already had somebody who was creeping around. And they didn't say, I think that if it would have been a situation where they had been helped and stuff like that, and like this fight became very public and the cops were called, I think they might have kind of been like, I think somebody might have, it was possible like they would indicate that they had maybe seen this person before. I think it's a little bit of a stretch for him to be focused so much on this fight and focus so much on Gabby and this turmoil that's happening in their relationship and that whole thing and like the cops and everything, for him to go from that to killing this random couple. It just seems a little disconnected. It, anything could happen, but there's also a lot of people out there, and we don't know the specifics as to like why, who did it, why did they do it, were they just creepy, was this person a creep who was a sexual predator maybe and that's why, was this person who killed them a homophobe, um and that's why. Like, I just think that to me, the timeline, I could see why people are thinking that, but I think the timeline in the grand scope of things to me doesn't make sense. Frank said, I think B&G didn't honor the separation request and switched place because Brian preferred outdoors sleeping outside and Gabby wouldn't want to be in the van overnight alone. Um, I think we switched topics, so I'm not gonna comment because I'm not getting the full scope of that question or that comment. Oh wait, I skipped. Sorry, I skipped some of those. Frank had said she was working there until like 4:30, and that's around the time. Around the time that she got off was around the time that the end of the shift was around the time of them being there. I mean, maybe, like not maybe this. Like I don't know. I don't know the facts of that part. But I mean, anything's possible. Judge says, I have always believed that the K7C, I don't know why, I guess I think that was supposed to be an and. K and C and G and B cases were both connected. I think a lot of people think that. It's anything's possible, but I think, and I'm gonna pull this comment really quick. You know, Lee. I mean, there are other killers walking around over there. There literally are anybody, any. I. This is another thing that I think I've said pretty frequently. Anybody, if they have the right motivation and the right mindset, could kill anybody else at any given point in time. Um, so to me, it's like at any point in time, there are people around you who could very well kill you or another person. Like, just because one killing happened and another one happened in that same time, could it be a serial killer thing? Yes. Could it not? Also, yes. I mean, look at how many murders happen every single day. It's one of those things. I also grew up in Miami, so it wasn't uncommon for me to see all over the media and like constant, this person was killed, this person was shot, this person was stabbed, gangs, blah 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 blah, random killing, person went off the deep end, like and that was all happening all the time. Um, other people I know, my husband grew up in Detroit, there was constant killings, like it's just what it is, and it wasn't necessarily serial killers, it was just the people in the area at the time. And when you have more population than not, there's going to be more people around who are inevitably going to end up killing somebody. Frank said, but it might not be random. She could have been his waitress, told him where they were camping, and triggered him before he left. I mean, anything is possible. That's why I said anything is possible. Maybe that's very possible. I just think like with the timeline and everything, to me it seems less likely, but anything is possible. This is interesting. I haven't heard this before. Judges claiming that Brian was escorted to the, I'm guessing it wasn't the feds, it was the cops, to the Bowen Motel, which is less than 600 meters from the Moonflower Co-op, the day before Kylan and Crystal were murdered. That's interesting. See, that to me starts to build the timeline a little bit more. Frank says that's cool. I'm not sure the context of that. Didn't studies show that serial killers do it for the power. I saw something really interesting recently, and I you know what, I want to play this later, but it was a person who was I think they called themselves a criminologist, I don't remember, but it was somebody who actively held a lot of weight and was very involved in things having to do with serial killers. Um and he kind of touched on this and touched on like people always wanting to know what their motivation is or what their tendencies in their brains are and that sort of stuff, and like what makes a serial killer and what it is it and their pattern, the behavior. And he made a very interesting point. So I'm gonna have to play it later. It is I think people have a different, many different serial killers have many different motivations though. Crystal says, smash those likes. I double dog dare you. Yes, please like and subscribe if you're interested in following more missing persons cases. Like Gabby's case obviously turned into more true crime than missing persons, but I'm going to continue to spotlight missing persons cases. We're going to be talking about Mia Mercano again very soon. We're going to be talking about Summer Wells, which is a little girl who went missing. I want to say Crystal said 4 months ago. So it's a case that I need to study up on. If there's any other missing persons cases that you would like me to spotlight, please let me know. Judge said also previous in my last comment, B and G were reported to 911 having an argument outside of Moonflower, hence the body cam. Yeah. Yes, that I did know, Judge. And that's something that we had talked about before. I'm pretty sure I showed like some of the footage. It was definitely very lengthy amount of time. And I think it's something that people have like seriously dissected the hell out of. All right. Let me. I just realized like that whole time I could have just been in full screen, but that's okay. Dragon Man says the two little boys in California. I don't know about this case. Can you give me a little bit more information about that? Sorry, give me 1 second. Sorry, I like that comment was not happening. I'm sorry, like that just felt very inappropriate and that really like threw me off. Sorry. Can you tell me a little bit more about what two little boys you're talking about? Or at least like what area of California, or anything, any kind of details you might remember so I can look into it. Does it sound right? Orson and Orrin West? It looks like that's the one that's kind of coming up the most. In East Bakersfield. Dragon Man says, think they were brothers snatched from their yard and thinks He thinks that is them. Okay. So I'm gonna look into this one. If you have any info, let me know. You can always comment it down below or message me on Instagram. Um, I wish I had my notebook. I usually do, but I don't have it with me. But so I'm gonna have to look into Orson and Orin. I keep wanting to say Orwell, like the writer of 1984 in Animal Farm. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna have to look into them, Summer Wells, and that's probably why, because it's Summer Wells, and bring up to date on the Mia Mercado case. Oh my God, Lee, this is a horrible story. I'm so sorry. I read most of it. Um, I'm so sorry this happened to you. And this is how scary life can be. And I think like a lot of people who have come into the community and who've come back again and again, which Lee is one of those people. Um, Also, I hope you're okay that I'm calling you Lee. I think it's just easier. But if you want me to call you something else, let me know. Um, this is how scary life can be, and I think a lot of us out here have had insane situations or have seen other people in these insane situations or people we love and care about who have ended up in insane situations. Um, People will do this. So Lee said, "At this point in my life, I don't believe much of anything without proof. I was on vacation with my husband in Vegas, and some guy called the cops said my husband pulled a gun on me. It wasn't true. I later found out the man was a trafficker and was trying to separate us. He has had plans on snatching me because I was wasted. He assumed my husband would just get arrested and I'd be alone. Things just are not always what they seem." Um, and said the guy was arrested months later for kidnapping. That is horrible. Horrible. Absolutely horrible. I am so sorry that you went through that. I feel terrible for anybody else who has been like I hate like I never know whether using the word victimized or as a victim the wrong word. I feel like people have a very strong opinions one way or the other about that word. But I'm sorry that happened to you and I feel very bad for anybody else who's kind of ended up in his clutches or ended up in his damn scheme, and I hope that the people who he kidnapped are okay. At least, they're alive and they're getting the help that they need. 'Cause that's horrifying. And people do this all the time. I mean, I've had people I literally I know someone who stopped a trafficking event happening. I know someone who stopped like SA from happening in public, like in broad daylight. People were trying to do this. And, and it was also the trafficking one was somebody who they were unfortunately on the street. It was a few girls. Actually, I think it was like one girl, one or two girls, something like that. One particular girl was exceptionally blasted, and this guy kind of came up and was like, "Hey, babe, like I'm gonna like, I got you," and was like pretending, doing some shit to try to take her away from her friends and take her away from everybody else and get her in his car. And the person intervened and stopped him. And it was obviously it was somebody who knew very well about what trafficking looked like, and they stopped somebody from getting trafficked. And that's why it's so important to be aware of your surroundings, be aware of what you're doing, make sure you're with the right people, make sure that you're not overdoing it, make sure that if you are a little bit like you have somebody trustworthy who's going to take care of you or you're in a group, you have to be so 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 careful because traffickers are out there everywhere, especially in places like Vegas. It's really unfortunate. Um Lee said Lee is fine. Awesome. I've been on the lookout ever since. It made me feel gross. I'm fine. I would have kicked his ass, or I sure would have tried. Yeah. That's I guess the best that we can hope for in that situation. And you got very lucky, and thank goodness that the cops, for whatever reason, didn't believe and probably did a double take and didn't just automatically arrest him. Um, but it's really fucked up. People are out there that do this, and I'm sorry that it made you feel like that. And you know what? At the end of the day, at least you came out of it. you were okay, your husband was okay, and you're just gonna end up being more vigilant, and that probably save you or somebody else in the future. I'm gonna go back really quick. So yeah, Dragon Man confirmed it was Orin and Orson. Internet said, maybe you could cover the Gypsy Hill murders. My ex sister-in-law was one of the victims. Oh my god. That's terrible. I'm so sorry. I've never heard of that before. I'm gonna look that up right now. I think it's really interesting that I keep meeting people who are here and present for my streams and end up being people who communicate a lot with me and tend to come back again and again are people who, like I said, are have either been in one way or another affected by really terrible people like Danette here that, at her ex-sister-in-law was a victim. Um, I've had other people who were attempted victims come up and, come onto my stream and come back again and again. And I think people who are very aware of their surroundings and very aware because of a key moment or key moments in their lives. I don't know what it is that just I don't know. I would love to something about that is just fascinating to me that I think most people who don't have these experiences would assume that people who have these experiences or have something heartbreaking around them happen or something that especially having to do with like either trafficking or some kind of assault or even murder, you would think that they would run for the hills screaming that they don't ever want to see anything ever again and want to like lull themselves into this like fake existence that like it never happened or that like you know it wasn't true or that wasn't real or whatever. But I feel like those people are the people who are the most aware and who end up coming on to streams like mine and talking with people because I think people are just wanting to tune in and I guess either help other people or help themselves in the future or understand better about the inner workings of things. I think there's a lot of different motivations, but there's something about it that just that's not what most people I think truly want, especially if they've worked on it and probably gone to therapy and stuff like that. Um I don't know what case this is. Millette sounds familiar though. Crystal said, "Did you guys hear about the arrest of Larry? I don't know if it's a Millet or Millette. He was arrested for his wife Maya's murder, even though they haven't found her body here in San Diego." Lee said, "I didn't even know about that Maya case. I heard about it today." Um, I haven't either. You guys are like so tuned in with so many different cases. Tanette says she was the only one found on Gypsy Hill. Her murderer was Rodney Hallbauer. I don't know if I said that weird. Was this in Oregon? Because the first thing that came up was when I looked up Gypsy Hill was Virginia. But then yeah, I see it. Rodney Lynn Hallbauer. Oh, I see. That was in California. I'm pulling up the 1 second. I have the like I know Wikipedia isn't like always the most reliable thing, but it was the first thing that came up that seemed like it was legitimately about this case. It says no, it was in the Bay Area. Yeah, so I'm gonna guess this was it in San Mateo County, California, and possibly Reno. I've never heard of this before. Oh my god. Yeah, there's so much information on here. It's horrible. Yeah, I would totally do this. If you have anything that you want me to specifically talk about this case, I'm not gonna show that freaking piece of crap's face. He deserves no special treatment or spotlight. Um, but yeah, if you have anything that you want to specifically have me talk about in the case, or anything, any kind of information, or anything that you just want me to say or make sure that I know, um, let me know because I will definitely take any sort of anything that you have for me or anything you want to tell me about. Whether that be just things that you want to make sure that are not left out, or things that you know, for I guess like I don't know if privacy is the right word, or like just to be courteous and understanding of the situation you don't want said or whatever, let me know. Dana said, do you have an email so I can send you some info? Yes, I do. I will put it in my if you comment to me later, I will send you my email. I just don't want to put it in my stream just because like people get weird about emails. People will like do some crazy shit with emails. So I will send you my email. I also need to send Crystal my email. So if you guys want to either message me on Instagram or comment like directly in the comment section of this video instead of like in the live stream comments, more than happy to give you guys my email. Um oh my god, this is horrible. I'm so sorry. I I have literally no words. It's so messed up. Lee said, seeing stuff like this just makes me not want to leave the house ever, but then they break in. Um, yeah, I think to me, it, my thought on it and my thought on this kind of stuff is it can lead you to be a recluse if you dive into it, full throttle, and you just that's all you think about and that's all you talk about and that's just everything. You can definitely become a recluse and never want to leave your house and become, is it agoraphobia? I'm not sure if that's the right word. Um, let's double check. I don't want to say the wrong thing. My husband's watching my stream and just yelled agoraphobia. um, oh my god, with the foot cramps. Um, yeah, so it really could make you agoraphobic, but I think to me it's so much more important to take these stories and create something positive with them. Um, i.e., what I try to do with my channel, which is shed a spotlight, create a community, have people who are able to talk and talk about their feelings and talk about these situations that are so impactful in our lives. Um, that's something positive that I do with these stories. I also try to like shed a spotlight to help bring awareness. This is why I'm trying to cover different cases. Like now that I know about the West brothers, I will cover the West brothers. I'm also, as the way that Crystal brought up Summer Wells's case, I will bring up that case and I'll start covering that because all of these cases deserve to have the attention. Um, and every case deserves to be solved, obviously. But the more that we talk about these cases and the more that we spotlight these other ones, the more chances that somebody's going to see it who didn't maybe see it before and who maybe has an information or maybe they saw something recently or whatever, what have you. Hopefully we can do something positive and continue to shed a spotlight. And, not saying that necessarily just me that I'm gonna have this inflated, like, I don't have this inflated sense of ego that, like, me alone, like, like, this having a stream, like, that's gonna bring somebody to justice and, like, create this whole, like, effect, but, like, if we talk about it, if the 9 of us or the 10 of us, including me on here watching right now, talk about this, and we bring this out to other groups, and we talk about it with our families, and we share about it online, and then maybe other creators get involved and they start putting a spotlight on it and they start talking about it, and then their friends find out about it, and their family and their friends and their family of everybody else who's watching. That creates an effect. The more of us who are out here talking about it, the better chances that somebody sees something and says something. And also I think that these are all, in a way, to an extent, lessons that we can learn, whether that's, you know, about understanding better about human traffickers, just like when we were talking with Lee about it, understanding better about what it is, what are these patterns? Is there certain things that maybe make you more vulnerable? Is there anything that you need to look out for? Is there anything that in the way that you move about in the world, because some people are seen more as targets than other people? What is it about that? There are different things. Maybe it's the way that this domino effect happened in somebody's life, that's what ended up, that they ended up dying. Maybe it was mental health stuff that was an issue. Maybe it sheds a spotlight for somebody and says, hey, you know what, I have a mental health problem, I should go seek professional help for it. I think there's different things that we can learn from on all of these stories, um from many different angles, and I think that's what we should try and focus on instead of holding ourselves in, even though it's very easy. Um, Frank also concurred that he thinks that it is agoraphobia. Yep. I did double check and it was in fact correct. I don't know, my husband just yelled something else about it, but I don't know what it was. But yeah, there's so many things that we can learn from this. He yelled, Frank is right. So there you go, Frank. You have my husband's seal of approval all the way from the other side of the house. Oh my god, I can hear the live stream going off on the living room TVs. Stop it. Why do you have to have it so loud? Um, Crystal said, what a great group here. Great chat and host. Thank you, Crystal. I appreciate that. Crystal's always hyping me up. I love that. Thank you, Crystal. You're always so sweet. Frank is just dying laughing. Love that too. I think that's the other nice thing about here, and like people will keep coming on like Crystal does. Um, there's always a moment in time in the streams that we just end up dying laughing over something, whether that's just like something stupid or not. I think we try our best to like kind of, we're serious, but then we have those moments where we bring light to the subject and try to have that comedic relief. Let me I feel like I need to make like either a Google Doc or something to put together a list of stuff that you guys want me to cover. I don't really know. It's hard. I want to make a Google Doc, but then I feel like I should make it so that somehow maybe I'll make like people make like Google like surveys or little quizzes and stuff. Maybe I'll make something like that where you guys can submit your suggestions on there. Or maybe I'll just make a Google Doc and then I'll just be the only one who has access to it, but you guys can see it and I'll have it linked to my videos. But let me make a little note on here. Sorry guys if this is like not super fun and entertaining. But I got Summer Wells, Oren, and double check. Oren and Orson. And then it was Gypsy Hill, right? Just to confirm. Oh, and I have to look up at this Larry Millett case. And obviously I need to cover Mia again. Okay, I was right. Gypsy Hill. Got it. Crystal said, I got you back. I love this channel. Thank you. That's so sweet. Lee said Google form. That is the thing that I was thinking of. Thank you. All right. I will make a Google form. And a Google Doc so you guys can see what I'm going to be covering. Also, is just to like confirm, can I get like a 1 in the chat if 7:30 p.m. EST is a good time to stream with you guys? Like, is that a time that you guys are gonna be chilling on weekdays to have a live stream? I think I'm gonna start implementing like Monday through Thursday, 7 p.m. sharp EST streams. Crystal said some channels use Slack. I feel like I've heard of that before, but I'm not 100% sure what that is. Okay. Dragonman put a 1 in the chat. Crystal said good for me. Ridiculously said 1. Okay, cool. I love glad we can all kind of come to an agreement on a time. It's easier for me when I know that people are gonna be able to be available. Frank said 1. Thank you, Frank. I love that. I love the enthusiasm from like a newcomer in the chat. Danette said usually at the gym at that time. Okay, we will work on that. And Danette, the day that you have that we do cover Gypsy Hill, we'll figure that out because I want to make sure that you're here for that, of course. Project Chief said 1. All right, cool. So it looks like for the most part, 1's all around. So I think we're gonna keep that time. And Danette said I can still watch while I run. Okay, cool. So 1's all around. Love that. It is official. I wish I had the gavel that my husband has in his garage, but it has been confirmed that we will continue the streams, and we will be doing them 7:30 promptly Monday through Thursday, and start covering more cases. What was I going to look up? Oh, okay. We're gonna keep this up, and we're gonna talk about. I looked up agoraphobia. Let me see. Actually, let's go back for 1 second. I'm gonna look up Slack really quickly. Slack. Pretty sure it's an app, right? Is this like, wouldn't it be better to use like Discord? Because it seems like it's like a talking thing. I don't know. I feel like a lot of people are on Discord. Um, Frank said Slack is just a group messaging app. Yeah, I guess like okay, this is not working very well. Yeah, I don't know if that would be like the best. Maybe I should do I do have a Discord server down in the depths of my phone. Not even my phone. I don't even think I have Discord on my phone right now. I have Discord on my computer. I'd have to re-download it, I think maybe. I don't even know what my login is anymore. But if you guys are interested in a Discord server, that I feel more comfortable with. Frank said Slack is sort of the business version of Discord. Yeah. So I guess Discord would probably be the way to go. Because then at least I do have some familiarity with it. I haven't been on there in ages. But if Discord is something you guys want to do, let me know. I would be totally down to make a Discord server for us. And that would be great because I currently do not have the community tab as me and Crystal were talking about because I had said last week that I was gonna stream the following day. Also, side note for everybody who's there, i.e., I know Danette was there and Crystal was there and stuff. I couldn't get a hold of Danette because she hadn't commented on anywhere. Crystal had, so I was able to like message. But I had a terrible migraine the next day. So I just like it was just not happening. Um, so it would be a lot easier to be able to communicate with you guys since I don't have a community tab currently to let you guys know what's going on because sometimes I do have suffer from migraines. I'm sure you guys probably haven't seen my other videos. You probably have just been here. I know some of you guys have seen some of my other videos. But I have a whole series on my channel where I talk about like mental illness and I talk about how like I have chronic illness. So like that sometimes impedes when I can or cannot come up. And so it's like really shitty because like since I don't have a community tab, I can't talk to you guys and be like, hey, I'm sorry, like I want to be streaming, but I just physically can't. Um so yeah, Discord would be really good. Jen says that sounds good, Discord. And said, yeah, I was looking for you, but life happens. Yeah, I'm sorry. Um, I will make that Discord. So we will stream tomorrow. Tomorrow's Wednesday. I will try my best to get the Discord and the Google stuff going. Crystal said, I'm glad you feel better now. Thank you. Migraines are the worst. I used to get them all the time. Oh my god, I hate migraines. Migraines suck in like a very particular way. Um, I definitely hate other kinds of sicknesses way more, but migraines are super annoying because a lot of times it's like you're physically like most of the rest of your body is like physically fine. Um, it's just your head and you just can't focus on anything when all you want to do is like usually like actually be able to watch something or entertain yourself somehow, but it's like you can't even open your eyes to do anything. Um, so it's like so freaking annoying. Especially somebody, like I said, who has chronic illness, it's like my brain is the one thing that like typically my chronic illness will hopefully not affect for the most part. And so it's like to have the roles reversed is like so much more aggravating because it's like, well, fine. The one time the rest of my body is fine. Now I can't even think straight. Like, so aggravating. Crystal said, I'm not hip enough for Discord. we, we'll make it work. We'll make it work. It's okay. I'm not either. But like we'll make it work. Wildcat is on. What is up, Wildcat? It's so nice to have you back on. I hope I was gonna I don't know if I did. That's the other thing. Sometimes I think I did things and I didn't do them. Um I don't know if I did that or not, but I thought I had messaged you checking in on you. But I hope you're doing better. Sending you all of the good vibes and the love from my end. I hope you're doing good. Um, Lisa, I got Discord for a gaming group, but I never used it. Yeah, it's one of those things where I got it and because I was doing Twitch a lot more. And this is a side note. I'm going to eventually start simulcasting to Twitch. So we'll see how that goes. Which is great timing that Wildcat is here because it's something I wanted to Wildcat. Wildcat is somebody who's been around since 2019. 2019? Yes, 2019. So we go pretty far back at this point. And it started off with me when I first started Twitch streaming. So I'm trying to come back Wildcat to Twitch. Little by little, it's gonna happen. Um yeah, that's the one part that sucks is the nausea. But it's not the worst nausea that I usually experience. So I can tolerate that a little bit better. Crystal, migraines. Thank you, Wildcat. I am doing better, so I appreciate you, and um, I hope you're doing better. I hope everything's okay with you on your end. I think it's like I don't know about you guys, um, but I feel like right now, let me get off of the random. Like we're not trying to advertise lack here. Um, I think right now is such a weird, tumultuous time. Not to be like witchy woo woo and like the energies, but like I just feel like nobody's having a good time right now. Like it's just like the change into fall is just getting a lot of people, I think, and like a lot of people are just like not having a good time. Lisa, I don't even have TikTok. I'm afraid to get sucked into the weirdness. Um, I do have TikTok. I don't know if I said that. I know I thought about saying that. I do have TikTok. I do post on there occasionally. I haven't posted in a while. Um, it definitely can get weird, but there is a very specific kind of magic that is TikTok because I really love and appreciate the fact that like I love how this is not anywhere near anything to do with this case anymore. That's okay. I just love talking with you guys. It's just so funny. Um, there's a specific kind of magic that happens on TikTok where you really find that one thing that you would never think on there, and there's just so many different microcosms in these like worlds you would never know were around, and it's like this one aesthetic or this one item or this one thing could have just this huge hold over all these people online and just like be this huge unifying thing and you would never know it even existed. And it's like that one thing could have a billion different subsets underneath it, and it's like so interesting. And it's so interesting how you can get like I don't know, I see like a lot of like really beautiful things coming out of TikTok. Like there's also obviously terrible things, but a lot of times like just like with any platform, but I just think that like when you hit it right on TikTok, which it tends to do, it really gets it right for the most part on your like on your feed. It really tailors down to you. Um there's a certain kind of magic, and there's a lot of people who are on there who are like a lot of my feed is like very like kind of witchy aesthetic, which is really nice, and like a lot of people who are like young people who are very into like the 70s and 60s aesthetics. Um and it's kind of amazing to see all of these people who are so interested and so passionate on like this one thing and like being so drawn to it and just living these like beautiful lives. I don't know, it's just like there's something magical that happens on TikTok, and it's like something you have to experience. Um Crystal said overall energy is low for sure. Yeah, I don't know. Like there's just been this weird ass energy. It's definitely really low. Um, it's just like weird. Mike coming in to save the day and bring us back to the case. Thank you, Mike. Um, how long before they move on Carlton reserves? Um, it's they keep going back. And they keep leaving and they keep coming back and they keep leaving and they keep coming back. And I don't know. I want to know what it is about the reserve, and I think everybody wants to know. But what is it that, like, one second while I readjust, but sorry guys, my back is killing me. What is it about the reserve that is so what is it that's drawing them back? I would love to know. There obviously there's always going to be stuff that they don't tell the public because it's important as law enforcement to not tell the public everything. But there's got to be something. I know at one point they were having cadaver dogs go into the reserve. So it's very interesting. And I know that that they had Brian's dad go out there and point out certain places and stuff like that. Um, that he was that Brian was familiar with and liked to be at. So it's just I would love to know what it is and what's happening. Just like everybody else, I'm sure. I'm gonna pull up some of that video in a second, actually, because I have both of the WFLA streams. Like they stream like twice today about the case. Dragon Man said the COVID lifestyle has taken a toll. Yeah, COVID. Yeah, that's another thing where it's like it definitely has taken a toll on everybody, I think. Um, Frank said 2021 energy, diagnosed with cancer, girlfriend of 6 years left, and my mother died. Fun, fun. I am so sorry. That is absolutely horrible. Um, I hope that everything is going okay with your treatment. Um, I'm sure you seem like you're out here and on top of it and getting yourself out and doing something to keep going, and that's super important. So I really commend you. Um, but I'm really sorry that all happened. Um, but you're gonna get through this, and I think you're a lot stronger than you probably think you are. And I really hope that your treatment is going okay. Um, you got a lot of love in this chat right now. I think that's a little bit of the magic here is that people, I think, in this chat, you kind of come in and once you're here and you're chatting with us, like we care about you. Um, Wildcat said, "I'm sorry to hear that." Everybody's kind of saying sorry to hear that. Hang in there. Um, but yeah, there's a lot of love here for you, Frank, and I hope that you're okay. Um, Frank said, "Appreciate it. Sorry, didn't mean to derail." Don't be sorry. I love when it derails. Not because this is like a necessarily beautiful topic. Um, but I think it is a beautiful part of the conversation that people feel comfortable to say these things. Um, and I think that we all get to know each other, and this is how we build the love and we build the community and we start to get to know each other and our stories. I mean, you saw other people talking about their stories. You heard Dana talking about, her story with her family. You heard Lee talking about it. You heard me talking about my story with chronic illness. Like, this is how we all bond here. Um, and we build this community. And I mean, who would have said that I've known Wildcat all these years, and I've never met Wildcat in person in my entire life. But we've always talked online, and we have a pretty dope ass bond from just talking online to each other. Um, so don't ever feel weird about derailing. That's part of this, and that's part of the love and the community that we have here. Everybody's just sending more love to Frank. Yeah. I think I missed something earlier. I'm not sure what I did. But yeah, also Frank, if you ever feel like you want to talk about what you're going through, like just a continuance of what I was saying, if you ever like feel the need to talk about that, don't feel weird about that. Like if you ever want to come on here and just be like, we're talking about this case, I'm not having a good time, you know, the XYZ happened, whatever, that's totally fine. Or if you want this to be a space where you don't have to think about that, that's totally fine too. Whatever the conversation you want it to be, make it your own. Lee said, I'm so sorry, Frank, but you're still the GOAT. I love this love. Honestly, Frank the GOAT. I don't know where my chat went. There we go. Okay. But I will go back because I see Crystal. I found the comment that I had missed before. Crystal had said, the newest interest in the search for Brian. Sorry, I don't know how to like switch, but I do want to catch Crystal's comment because I don't like missing people's comments. Crystal said the newest interest in the search for Brian has been around a condo the Laundrie's owned. I guess Brian and Gaby lived there before there has been a sighting. I feel like it's one of those things where it's like, I feel like, didn't they say that they live somewhere else? Like, I feel like I heard something about this before, vaguely, but not specifically like that there was a sighting there or that there was a certain condo or something. But I thought they had said in the news, like, oh, in between them moving from New York to Florida, they lived somewhere else first in the Florida area before they lived in the parents' house. I don't know. Oh my god, Lee's like on it. They had 3 condos. Which one? They had 3 condos? Why would you need 3 condos in Florida? It's a little ridiculous. 3 of them? Let's look this up. Lee really dug deep. Dug real deep. And said, how did you even know that? What the heck? He said, well, they seem to be flipping them, hence the real estate lawyer friend. And responded to me saying, how did you even know that? I'm nosy. Why that was hilarious, I I will never know, but that's hilarious. Like, I feel like you somehow got into some weird database and you like Lee the PI over here. Incredible. It's hilarious. I'm not even gonna lie. So the only people reporting on this really is like the Sun. And like it's the Sun. So I typically, that was another one of my things, like I typically try to not use news sources unless I feel confident about them, and like the Sun is not a news source I feel confident about, like in the slightest. But yeah, it's like the sun and then like a bunch of random small sites. Anyways, on that random note, it's gonna be 9:30 and I am so sleepy. So thank you guys all for hanging out today. I am going to take this moment to bow out. I appreciate you guys hanging out. I will be here at 7:30 p.m. sharp tomorrow. I can't wait to hang out again. Tomorrow we will talk thinking about Mia. We will see. Let me know what you guys want to see the most. I definitely need to cover Mia. I've been saying that forever, so it will probably be Mia. Hopefully I have time to prep. If not, we're just gonna dive headfirst into the timeline, whatever timeline I can find online. But thank you guys for joining me. Don't forget, if you guys are new here or haven't already, pretty much everybody who's been chatting probably already has. But if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell with all notifications so that you guys know it immediately when I live stream. Especially with this kind of topics, sometimes I do end up randomly live streaming because something big happened. So make sure you do that. I would really appreciate it. Crystal said smash those likes. I double dog dare you. I appreciate that. I appreciate you guys all hanging out with me today. I will see you guys all tomorrow at 7:30 for Mia's case. And then I think we'll cover Summer's case on Thursday. So thank you guys again. I appreciate all the love. I appreciate everybody who's been telling their stories in the chat and talking back and forth with me. Everybody who's come back, that's amazing. I appreciate you guys. And I will do my nightly recap of everybody who kind of chimed in. So thank you to Lee, Project Achieva, Danette, Crystal, Wildcat, Frank, Mike. Let me see who I'm missing. Dragon Man, of course. All the people that always show up. There's so many. You guys are all awesome. Judgmental, still hilarious name. Just such like perfect fun. And I think that was everybody. I think I got everybody. Thank you guys all for hanging out with me today, and I can't wait to see you guys all tomorrow. Remember to stay safe, stay well, and take care of yourselves. Bye, guys.